Wild times.
What are you drinking? That looks yummy. Hi, welcome to another edition of Shaken Not Stirred. I'm Christy Maiselman. I'm the executive director, and today I'm with C. Brian Williams, the founder of Step Africa.
What's happening, Christy? How are you?
I'm great. I'm living my best life.
Corona dream.
Right, living the dream. This dream right here.
Right.
Good.
Cheers. Good to be here with you.
Cheers. Well, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks so much for doing this. Thanks for connecting. It's good to see you. It feels very real.
I know. You're like in.
I feel like I'm with you. I feel like I'm just right there with you. Yeah. Christy.
Because I love our story, and not a lot of people get to know our story a little bit.
Yeah.
And the Cultural DC, Step Africa, Christy's story of being at the Mather Building and moving in very early as an artist, right?
Yeah.
That won the lottery and got to buy a live work studio there, and I was a young visual artist living there.
So crazy.
Living the dream. And I remember just hearing all of this stomping all the time. And I was like, what is this?
What floor were you on?
I was on the third floor.
Oh my God.
Right above it. Right
above.
Yeah. Right above it.
Sorry.
Yeah. I know. But then look, here we are, how many years later?
All that stomping for a reason.
I know. It's
such a special place, such a special place, a special moment, special time in DC's development.
Yeah, it was.
For artists.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like you guys have been it's big, anniversary for you guys. Is it
you
still?
You just added some light. You are really working at over there. What are you doing over there?
You can't see me? What's going on? Oh.
No, you added some lovely light.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I think is it still there? Probably
no,
not.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it was the glow of my screen. I had to pull up I have some notes here.
I'm loving it. All right.
But yeah. So you guys are coming off, are you coming off of, or are you still in the 25-year celebration?
Well, we would have been approaching the end of our 25th anniversary with Step Africa. So, and when I tell you we were on a high, Christy, we were in the middle of our off-Broadway run.
I was gonna get to that, because that's like Broadway, man.
I mean, we literally went from packed houses for 2 weeks, every show.
Yeah.
Great response, enthusiastic audiences every night, over almost 500 people in the theater every night for all performances. And we were entering the third weekend, and the entire weekend was completely sold out. And so March 12th, it was kind of interesting to watch Corona take over the theater scene in New York, and eventually our world. I mean, especially in the United States, but Wednesday we had a matinee for students.
Mm-hmm.
It also had been sold out for months, and it was only half full. I was like, okay. Thursday, another sold out matinee. But only 50 showed up, still did the show. By 5 o'clock that evening, Broadway made the announcement that they were shutting down all theaters. And our theater was located at 42nd and 7th Street, right in the heart of the Broadway Theater District, right? So it was wild to see that. It was surreal. It was I can't believe it. And what was funny is I went to go see Stomp that night. So all the Broadway shows and such shut down. But there's only a few shows were still trying to hang on, theaters, under 500, 400 seats.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go see Stomp that night, and I was like, oh, good, maybe something will survive. We can still gather, just be not fast. Friday, everything was gone, and New York just went quiet. Times Square was empty, and we were right there for it.
But that's got to be, you talk about surreal. I mean, I think about 25 years ago, did you ever think that you guys would be, this, amazing world, or, phenomenon. You're a phenomenon, but you becomes a phenomenon. Yeah, I know. But aside from traveling all over the world, it's Broadway.
Yeah.
you can play every community and all across the city and every ward and
Yeah.
visit all these communities across the world and the country. But it's like Broadway. Did you ever think
No,
that
I
was,
mean, I did dream about it. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I did dream that I would come off the subway and look up at a marquee and see Step After there. And this was our second time actually being there. We
yeah,
were in 2017 and sold out a run there. It was so successful they brought us back. And no, so I would say I dreamed it and I wanted it, but I was just kind of shocked. But I think about it. All those performances are, I view those performances amazing and super important. But I love our work in DC. I love our work in the city, in every corner of the city. And I love when we go overseas. As you said, we've been to over, I don't know, 50 or 60 countries at this point performing. Like we just did this amazing tour of Ukraine that I was
yeah.
reflecting on just the other day, watching some videos. So it's a dream come true in a lot of ways for me.
Yeah, I mean, you are like an official like cultural ambassador, right, for the city.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, and I think in not that we're a cultural ambassador, but I think when we
yeah.
think about collaboration, right? I mean, I think that we're both organizations that where collaboration is so important. Why can you talk a little bit about like that collaboration? Because obviously for you, you're collaborating on different levels. Like you're collaborating also more maybe at a government level, but also
Hmm.
in the community. You know,
No, I mean, if I think about especially Step Africa's relationship to Cultural DC,
yeah.
let's just talk about that since we're talking.
Sure. Let's talk about it.
But I'll never forget. I mean, how arts organizations can work together to really succeed.
Right.
So when Step Africa, this is almost I guess 15 years ago. I'm in my home. My office was like in this room where I am now. It's not my
Yeah.
back. That's what it needed to be, but it was my office then, right? And then,
Come full circle. It's your office again.
well, yeah, right. You know what? You're right. I'm back in my old.
25 years later, and you're back.
25 years later, I'm back, and it looks a lot different. But I think about the space that Cultural DC created for Step Africa to move out of my home and into an office. And it's so crazy how scary a move that can be for an artist, arts organization. Now you have rent, you start to have fixed expenses for your business.
Yeah.
And how you're gonna deal with that. But it was transformative for me. And so when you talk about collaboration, that's just a part of that's in my DNA. It's in your organization's DNA.
Yeah.
To work together to survive what's a very challenging environment.
Yeah.
As we see right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so interesting because I think, for organizations that collaboration is not as important or not something they're thinking about, I think now more than ever, like we have to rely on each other. And I feel like I spend half my week on calls with like other arts leaders, just like, talking through all this stuff and support, like, how are we going to support each other? How can we support each other and support each other's programming efforts? And,
we have to do it.
Yeah.
We have to do it. I think we're going to have to do it even more aggressively. And I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg in terms of what type of collaborations. I think right now everybody's just trying to steady the ship, just like, okay, let me just make sure we're good here. But then in order to come back from this, it's going to take us working together to create spaces and safe spaces for our community to come back to us.
Yeah. I think what Step Africa does such a good, I mean, you guys present such an interesting perspective, such a unique kind of art form and discipline that's different, than kind of what we're seeing out there in the mainstream. What's the role that you guys play when you're like, or what's it like as you go into new communities and how do you introduce that to communities that don't know? I mean, especially I think as you go internationally, when you're talking about going to Ukraine, like I can't imagine there's like step groups in Ukraine.
No, there's not one single one.
Right. Shocker. Shocked.
But the crazy thing about it is, what I love about what we've been able to do with Step Africa is that I can really say with all confidence that my artists, my incredible 14 strong collection of artists who come from all over the country and move to our area to become full-time artists with Step Africa, are the best in the world at what they do. Because this form that we do, stepping, is created by African Americans, very much rooted in American history and culture, and there's nothing like it else anywhere in the world. So I love that. I love that position that we hold. And when I think about our international work and what we have done with this tradition, we've created a space. Before we started, Christy, there was no professional space for my artists.
Sure.
If you loved how to step on a college campus, there was really nowhere for you to take all that skill, all that artistry into the professional world. Just didn't exist. So when I think about what Step Africa did more than anything, is that we made some room, for different artists. We opened up the opportunities. We said, okay, hello, performing arts world. There's a new art form we need to make some room for. It's called stepping, and here it is. Welcome us to your stages. And so I love that, because I think about my artists would have never had the chance to grace all the stages we have around the world if Step Africa did not exist,
Yeah.
And so for any other artists out there trying to create space for their art form or for their tradition that hasn't been exposed or seen by the rest of the world, I encourage them, because you have to make room. Hello. We turn off this video, we really go in on this thing. You are crazy.